Hey guys, welcome back to another movie review. So tonight, I just got back from watching Venom: The Last Dance. Before I start this review, let me go ahead and get this out of my chest real quick. I'm not a big fan of the Venom movies, but I enjoy them for what they are. I thought Venom 1 was fun, and I thought Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage was kind of garbage, but I still enjoyed it. So when I heard that they were making a third Venom movie that's gonna be the conclusion to the Venom trilogy, I was kind of excited for this. I thought the trailers for this movie looked pretty cool, and that's how I kinda got excited for this movie. And now that I have seen this movie, guys, I can 100% confirm to you that I enjoyed it. Now look, hear me out, hear me out. I think this is the best Sony movie since the first Venom, but that doesn't really say much because in no way, shape, or form am I saying that this is a masterpiece. This movie was not great, but it was at least entertaining. There is a bunch of stuff I want to say about this movie, so let's break down the best and worst parts of the movie. Starting with the positives, the best part about this movie is the bromance dynamic between Venom and Eddie Brock. Tom Hardy carries this movie with his performance as these two characters. Their chemistry and relationship is what makes the Venom franchise enjoyable. And overall, I enjoyed seeing these two characters share a somewhat special bond. Another positive for this movie is the action. The action sequences in this movie were kind of dumb, but at the same time, they were pretty cool to watch. Overall, the action scenes were kind of cool. Another positive for this film is the comedy. The humor in this film was kind of goofy, but I'm not gonna lie, I did laugh a couple of times. Overall, I laughed at some of the comedic moments in this movie. And my final positive for this movie is the third act. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but guys, they kind of cooked on the third act. The final half of this movie had some crazy action sequences, and it also had some emotion. Like, I'm embarrassed by saying this, but I almost shed a tear during the final half of the movie. Overall, I thought the third act went kind of hard. And now let's get into the nitty-gritty side of things. The first issue I have with this movie is the story. The story of this movie felt like a jumbled mess. This movie had too many things going on at once, and to be honest, that wasn't needed whatsoever. Overall, the story of this movie was messy. Another negative for this movie is that Venom was barely in the film. Venom did not get a lot of screen time considering that this movie is literally Venom's last dance. Venom was basically the voice inside of Eddie's head for the majority of the movie. Overall, I wish we had a lot more Venom in this movie. Another negative for this movie is the second act. The second act of this movie was kind of boring to get through, and to be honest, it kind of felt like a waste of time. Overall, I found the second half of this movie to be boring. Another negative for this movie is the usage of the main villain known as Null, the god of symbiotes. There was just not a lot of Null in this movie. The majority of the movie is basically just Null sitting on a throne, sending these big alien creatures after Venom and Eddie because they have something he needs. Like, I know they're trying to set Null up for future projects, but still, they could have done a lot more with this character. Overall, I wish this movie did a lot more with Null. And my final negative for this movie is the absolute fumbling of Toxin. Toxin is a pretty cool villain in my opinion, but this movie kind of did him dirty. And to be honest, he should have been the main villain of this movie instead of Null. Overall, I wish that Toxin was the main villain of this movie. But overall, I had a decent fun time with watching this in the theaters, and I thought this was a solid send-off to both Venom and Eddie, and I do think this was a decent conclusion to the Venom trilogy, and the rating I would give for this is a solid 6.5 out of 10. Also, before I end this video, I just want to say thank you Tom Hardy for bringing this cool iteration of the Venom character to life, and I'm really gonna miss you for being the only good character that Sony has ever made. But anyways, yeah, that's my review of Venom: The Last Dance, and thank you for watching. If you want to see more reviews like this, follow me for more. Peace out, and remember, we are